the glorious kings of His love. Hope sharing is the Christian hope. Number 440. So we learn that upon us, I pass into His wilderness of fantasy. To see and sound and long to see sound. Amen. How sweet are the tide? And I think I'm going to do that for the last one, give Pastor the time. So let us all stand for this one, 442. And after that, going to ask 442. I'm going to ask, I want a short prayer. Yes, give me a short prayer. Right. So 442, how sweet are the tide? Are the tide so soon of the setting glory, sun, Sabbath, see your great and wonderful sleep shall be all great as light. And I need the city remembered Amen. Remain standing for the prayer. Amen. So all the singers will, as soon as you get a break, line up yourself to sing. Pastor will indicate when to give us the time to sing. Yes, all the singers.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to we welcome you to this special officers workshop. We'll try to go through as many as we can of the offices. We start with the local church elder. And we won't bore you because the young people will be singing in between. And so the role of the local church elder. And the local church elder, you will see that at the bottom of each roster, starting from this quarter, I think it is. The church elder is the assistant pastor. The absence of the pastor, the church elder is the pastor of the church. And there are 15 pointers that I may not able to go through all, but then we'll go through as many as we can and move on. The work of the local church elder is to foster all lines of missionary work. That's the first duty of the church elder. To foster all lines of missionary work. That means he's going to be promoting it in all the departments of the church. The elder should, in council with the pastor, carry much of the pastoral responsibility. In other words, they don't mean to do more than the pastor, but that you will do almost everything that the pastor can do the local church elder, that the oil was poured upon, speaking of ordination, can do anything that the pastor does, except for one thing, and we'll get there soon. So the elder in council with the pastor, we carry much of the pastoral responsibility. Disheartened, so the elder would be visiting the church members, ministering to the sick, and encouraging those who are disheartened. Too much emphasis cannot be placed on this part of the elder's work, who as an under shepherd exercise a constant vigilance over the flock. So not only the pastors, but the elders are responsible for visiting the members, especially the shut-in members, and should make sure that no wolves come, whether by day or night, and snatch the sheep away. The elders are under shepherd. They are constantly watching over the flock and guarding them that they are not snatched away by our shoots or wolves. Elder Wayne. And at least once per quarter. You're able to do that every month, really. They recommend once per quarter, at least once per quarter. If you have more time, then you can, but that's the recommendation. In the absence of the pastor, the elder is responsible for the services of the church and must either conduct them himself or arrange for someone else to do so. So, in the absence of the pastor, the elder is responsible for the smooth running of the church. And then in Jamaica, especially, the elders have been doing that, and we can't overemphasize it that some elders are working even harder than some pastors, which is true. And so, uh, most of the time, yeah. Mhm. I think it's more. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. Yes. No. So the elders are always there as a watchdog over the flock. Pastor. Yeah. They take over. That's true. They are in charge. Yeah. Of the church today. Here's the job. The final figure. Yeah. Right? I think that's one of the cause, yeah. Mhm. Because of the size and because, as you said, some pastors have so many churches, so they can be at one Sabbath. They may can visit two of the churches. Depends on how far they are. We were trying this morning to, well, we stop at Dalton to do a baby dedication, and we're trying to finish that to get over to Carlisle to do a baby dedication. We have how much over there? Four. And to get back here for the divine service, really. In the Williamsfield circuit, we're able to do it more easier because the churches are nearer to each other. But from Dalton to Carlisle is a good job. The two nearest is from here to Carlisle and from Carlisle to here and from Bellevue to South. The others are far apart.
Yeah, come on, drop in a nose. Drop something
Then
in
we
the
used
nose.
to have 8 churches. Then we always try to go to one for Sabbath
You
school,
much.
She did something really
You too
for
much.
divine
good.
service,
Pregnant.
Bible
Yeah,
class,
the smell is
and
sweet, you
AY
know. And
for
then
another one.
you
And
go
when we go for
make
AY,
sweetie
we
pea,
do
smell
the
it.
service.
Sweetie pea, and
But
because
then
most will let me know, man.
I was recommended by
I
Pastor
said, if it,
Bowers, said, no, that's not the right way to do
you
it.
know, the transmit by
Burn out
someone
your
transmit.
cross.
And
Isn't it that
sweetie pea
way?
does
It's
so.
best to go to one.
And licking me
All
seat.
you have to do at that one, then you move on.
It's terribly enough.
Mhm.
Mama
And
take your
when
hand
you
and put
What
it.
is it?
and you go,
And
we are
headache,
trying
imagine.
to
Stop
Oh.
cut down on the sizes of
him, man. But if you find that, you never feel it.
the conference. People have
I
done it.
can't.
You just
In
said,
other
"Oh, what
words,
the
the West is
I think
trying
man,
to have one pastor to 5 churches. Still don't reach there yet. Because
Listen,
we still have one pastor to 8 churches. They're trying
one
to cut
person.
down the Williamsfield church circuit
One person.
that have 8 churches. And the Newmarket circuit used to be 8, but they have cut that one. And they have cut Williamsfield, but they could not find the pastor to put there, so that is on hold for
Wait.
we don't know when because we are currently short of pastors, not only in West Jamaica Conference, but across all the conferences in Jamaica. And even at NCU, we are not graduating enough pastors anymore. 9 was graduated last year. Go ahead.
They say, pastor, we just get the blessing, anointing, and be pastor. They say, they never go on school for the master. So they so people like, one away they got them, hardly them.
Some of them are just because they study.
Yes,
Yes,
Yeah, man,
Pastor
find time to
Gregory was just telling us about that they have more than 14 churches. All those who named here when he was over in this.
Sorry.
Well, you're not going to see the elderless at all. Enough. And it's not here alone.
They start give the elders the money. But me never see Brother Ken come up. Brother Ken not elder. No, sir.
But me never hear. Me never hear when they said, brother, man, they say, but me never hear they say, brother.
They not that. Me never hear them call Brother Ken name.
It can, but that is not the
Not elder.
situation. No, it can sometime, but the situation really is they are looking for greener pasture when you talk to them. When you talk to all who
Yeah.
gone,
They go find
they are looking for more money because they can hardly survive this year. And inflation
I'm looking for greener pastures so they can hide.
That's really who are going. And we are losing quite a bit. As for this month alone, we are going to lose three. Yeah, we have three going away before the ending of January. Read. Last year, we have quite a bit went away, and I can guarantee you that many more are planning to go too. Really. So we are short of senior pastors, especially. This conference have more young people than ever before. And so you hardly have any senior pastor here anymore. So the senior district are punishing because they don't have any senior pastor to send here. So don't be frightened if you hear that they have to pull this one that they just put into a district in the space of 6 months to send to some of the senior district because they can't send the little intern or the junior pastors in there. It will be a problem. Really. But now we have some intern that is going into district after 6 months and they haven't even started doing internship properly. So that's if you listen to the president the other day he said he spoke to NCU and asked them to have a 6 months course, crash course to train pastors. And we don't know what may happen really if because you will have to do some selection if you're going to do that. That could be very serious too. So you have to know what you're doing. And so the elders, in the absence of the pastor, huh? Okay. Now he's not too old, but the problem is whether or not he would enjoy doing that. Really. But, some people are very independent, they don't like restriction of certain things. So, yeah. Convert him into a pastor because he's in the system. He's in the system. And us is in the system already, so it's not hard. And then the communion service must be conducted by a pastor or by an elder. The elder can conduct the communion service, not the pastor alone. And not only the communion service, but the elder, in the absence of a pastor, or for instance, there's a baptism arranged for Rosa this evening. The pastor is coming, something happened, and he can't get here. Then the elder should call the president of the conference. And then the president would give the authorization to go ahead and do the baptism. So the first elder can conduct baptism also. The first elder cannot do the exchanging of the vows. That's right. It has to be a marriage officer. But the first elder can do everything else in that wedding ceremony. Can preach a sermon, pray, but not the exchanging of the vow. The exchanging of the vow is the duty or work of a marriage officer, really. And the elder could be a marriage officer too, but the elder would have to be authorized by the union. The union would have to send a letter to the Registrar General to ask them to do the training if the elder is going to be a marriage officer. The elders should regard all correspondence from the conference as important. Letters calling for announcement to the church should be presented at the proper time. So all the letters coming from the conference to any department should first go to the elders. The elders would distribute that to the different departments and see to it that the departments make the promotion. For instance, the convention at, well, I heard the announcement today of the convention in Southfield. The elders should foster worldwide work. As a faithful tithe payer, the elder can do much to encourage the church members to return a faithful tithe. An elder does not have the authority to receive or move members from membership. In other words, you can't cut out anybody from the church. While the elder can conduct a business meeting, he can't remove any member from church fellowship. It will have to be a pastor there that does that. As a spiritual leader, elders are responsible for encouraging members to develop a personal relationship with Jesus by strengthening their habits of personal Bible study and prayer. So the elders should encourage a member to read their Bible, become acquainted with their Bible, and make prayer a habitual exercise. Pray without ceasing. And I leave the rest to the elders. And there are, I think there are 3 elders here, 4? 3 serving. You give it to the serving elder. I will have to go a little faster with these. Okay. That was the first one. So I know it's a conservation elder. Elder Wayne? Who is the conservation elder here? Okay. So I won't have the time to go through your duties. Your duties is the longest one this evening. You have a duty coming from the union of 12 pages. So we won't have time to go through it. So you have time, you will have to find the time to study your duties. But let me say that the conservation elder is responsible for seeing that the newly convert or those that are baptized are properly looked after. That, you know, the personal ministries department are organized along with the Sabbath school. The barter system, bigger brother, bigger sister, system to take care of them. And not only the retention of the new converts, but the first elder or elders will have to see that the members are visited. That don't mean that the elders will go all the time, but make sure that the deacons, a part of the deacons' duty too, that they are doing their duties in visiting, especially the sick members. It's a part of the conservation part there. And so we'll ask him to go through his duties, a whole lot of things. Elder Wayne. The duty of the church leader is not too long. It's very short. And so in the local church, when no one possesses the experience and qualifications to serve as an elder, under such circumstances, the church should elect a person known as a leader. And so in the absence of a pastor, the leader is responsible for the services of the church, including business meetings. But the leader cannot conduct the business meeting. It will have to be an ordained elder. The leader cannot conduct the board meeting either. It will have to be an ordained elder. But in the case where there is no ordained elders, the leader would have to get the permission of the conference to go ahead and do these things. The leader must either conduct the church service or arrange for someone else to do so, that is in the absence of the elder. Yes. So the leader should conduct like the prayer meeting, Wednesday night meeting. And so they should be trained during the divine service too. And they should be trained to preach, because the leader is training to become elders. And while in training, the leader don't need to train from everlasting to everlasting, because some churches have people training as leaders for a number of years. I went to one church. When I went there, these young men were in training for 15 years. Each time it come for ordination, they were not qualified. So why you put them in leadership if you know they're not qualified to be trained, to be ordained as an elder? If you know the person can ordain, don't put them into leadership. Really. Because after 2 years, the longest, they should be ordained to be elders. And so a leader who is not an ordained elder may not administer baptism. Can't do that. Conduct the Lord's Supper, the leader can't do that neither. Perform the marriage ceremony or preside at a business meetings where members are disciplined. Can't discipline any members also. I think we have 2 leaders here. 3. Oh, yes. We go to the duties of the deacon. And the deacon is looked down upon in the Adventist church nowadays. And that is one of the highest office, really. As in the Bible time, deacon was the highest. Yes, was the highest office. And so deacons are not just to collect offerings and Sabbath. Their duties go far than just collecting offerings. And so we are looking at the duties of the deacons. Let me run through a few of them. Number 1, the duties of a deacon include assistant at services and meetings. At church services, the deacons are usually responsible for welcoming members and visitors as they enter the church and for assisting them where necessary to find a seat. They should stand ready to cooperate with pastor and elders for the smooth functioning of the meetings conducted in the church. So the job of the deacon, number 1, is what the church is using ushers to do. The deacon is the ushers of the church. It's the deacons that welcome the visitors. They should be early at church, and the members as they come. And if they can't find a seat, the deacon will help them to find a seat. Visitation of members is a must of the deacons and the deaconesses too, because the deacons and deaconesses' duties are very close. And so an important duty belonging to deacons is that of visiting church members in their homes. In many churches, this is arranged by a distribution of membership by district, assigning a deacon to each district with the expectation that he will visit each home at least once a quarter. The deacon should visit the members. We're not talking only the sick members now, but even the healthy members, they should visit, really. And that is another reason why many people are running away from here, the visitation program. Because in North America, there you go to people's house, not there telling them you come to visit them. They think you take them for an idol. They will tell you plain that, no, why you come here? I'm not sick. If I was sick, you come and visit me at the hospital. Really. And so, some people, because they have a lot of visitation to do here, and a lot of work, they're running from it. The preparation for baptismal service is another duty of the deacon, and the deaconesses too. And so, at the celebration of the ordinance, the communion service, of foot washing, the deacon will prepare the basin and see that the towels are in place, the water is in place. And at the baptismal service, the deacon will make sure that the male changing room and the female changing room are in perfect order. And if it's at the riverside or the beach side, a temporary changing room, you can use a blue plastic, or some people use sheet. Temporarily put up, and as soon as the last person change, you can pull it down. That's right. And so that's the work of a deacon. Following the Lord's Supper, great care should be taken by the deacons in burying all the bread that is left over. The bread and the wine. Once the wine was blessed, you dig a hole and pour it in there, really. So that's why I don't bless all the bread when they carry it come. Well, I haven't done it here yet. It's one communion here, but once it's plenty bread, I look at the size of the church. Then I will take out some of the bread and give it to the folks to eat. Yeah. Because once it bless and is a whole lot here, you have to bury it. So better you eat it than bury it. So you make sure you put them one side, and then we give it to them. Even the children want to taste it sometime. Really. So you give them a little taste. Really. The care for the sick and the poor is another work of the deacon. Should make sure that the sick members are visited. And the poor, that don't mean you have money to take care of the poor. But when you go and see the condition, you should come back to the community services of the church report and let them know that they can. And how many deacons are here? Is only two? Two present. How much we have in totality? About 5? 4. So you could leave 4 for the rest of deacons. Give them to elder. 2 present. Give it 2 that is present. And leave 2 with elder there too. The next one is the deaconesses, and I don't have to go too much because I've just gone through the same thing. For the deacons is the same thing. For the deaconesses. The deaconesses will take care of the female baptismal stuff. Make sure the gowns are ready and they are clean. And after the baptism, they are dried and put away. Make sure that the basins for communion are prepared. Make sure that the communion table is set. Wine are poured out into the glasses. Not water, but wine. Because I've gone to church to serve communion and it's water. They cover up there. It's a disgrace. You don't remember, just tell the pastor, you don't remember that we put off the communion. Simple as that. But you don't put water there. And it's overheard them talking. And say, so somebody said this pastor may not accept it. So the person said, no, you have to accept it because pastor so-and-so. We accept it when we have no wine. Use water. You cannot. We cannot be liquid the blood of Jesus to water. It's an insult. That's a real insult, really. It's the same thing, so just give it to the... How many deaconesses are here? And in the meantime, we are looking at the duties of the church clerk. She's absent. Absent. Give them for the 3 absentee. Yeah. We never normally give to the absentees, but we're going to break the rule this evening and give you. You soon can be a deacon. Yeah, he's... Mercy. That's good. He can soon be a deacon. He's sensible enough. Duties of the church clerk. Number 1, the church clerk serves as secretary of the church board and the business meetings. They keep all the records of the church and of the business meetings. They keep accurate minutes that must compare with the exchequers or treasurers report when the auditors come. Number 2, they keeps an accurate membership record. So their membership record must be accurate. And I'm looking for a cabinet here, but I don't see one. Most of the churches don't have a cabinet in this district. You need to have a cabinet where the church clerk book are kept. Yeah. But we can see with you. You have a long way to go. We can see with you, guys. You are young. So you will get there at the appropriate time. You can get one of those cheaper one, you know. Even use one. Yeah. Yeah. You You have a long way to go. All the big ones, them don't have it yet. So you can do something else in the meantime, really. Records provides historical data of the church. The church clerk keep proper membership data. Names, dates of baptism and death are kept by the church clerk. All disciplinary actions that are taken by the church board and the church in business meeting are recorded accurately by the church clerk. And a letter should be sent promptly to the member that was under whether censorship or discipline. Communicate such action to persons affected. Furnishes promptly certain reports, most of these quarterly to the conference. And the elder must see to it that the church clerk's report go to the conference at the ending of each quarter. Handles correspondence between individual members and churches in transferring of church membership. So all transferring of membership in coming or outgoing is done by the church clerk. Keep in touch. A clerk also must keep in touch with absent members, sharing with them interesting items of the church progress, and encouraging them to report their own Christian activities each quarter. The clerk should keep the elders informed of matters that need the attention of the board promptly. I think there is another one for the clerk here. It's two they have. Is there no one, is it? No, these, you have the right thing now. It's two together. Yeah, I mean, I read it. No. I'll touch on a few of the exchequers. The church treasurer, who is the clerk? She's here? Oh, the clerk is way down the bottom. The treasurer is the custodian of all church fund, not some, but all church fund. And in some churches, well, in a church in this same parish, the elder put the money that was raised in his own account. Well, they collected it after the harvest festival and they handed it over to him. So he should in turn hand it over to the exchequer. But he went and put it in his own account. Another elder, first elder now, right here in this parish, that he made a mistake, of course. A sister gave the church a good offering. Well, we're glad that if you should get that offering here, that it will be in good keeping. Really. But that offering went straight into the account of the church elder. That was 500,000. That's right. We start up there to put in some windows and doors. Yeah. You would be amazed to know what is happening right here in your conference with money. Yes, there's a whole lot of things going on. The treasurer should never comment about the tithes that are returned by the members to anybody. It is confidential. And the treasurer should not at any time try to work out according to the tithe how much a person is working. That's their own prerogative. Yeah. That's right. Not long ago, a year ago, a member name was called for office. And the exchequer stood up and stop it, say no. Reason. She's not faithful in her tithe because sometimes they tied up there, sometimes it down there. And that's so. When I went out to talk with her, I said, but you can't use that to judge the individual. You know how many days she work per week? Sometimes the work fluctuating. And so when we called the sister, it was the same thing. Because the sister said, Pastor, sometime I work 3 days per week, sometimes 2 times, sometimes 1 time. So that's why sometimes the tithe is there, sometimes it's here, and sometimes it's here. Really. So we cannot be judgmental, really, when it comes to that. All funds, conference, local church are deposited by the exchequer treasurer in one bank checking account in the name of the church. This is a separate bank account which is not to be combined with any personal account. I won't touch any more on the exchequers, just give it to her. It's quite a bit more. But one thing you should bear in mind is that the church, the treasurer is the custodian of all church funds. So if you have a social, the treasurer keep the money. When you form the youth fellowship here and you collect the offerings, we have a treasurer for the youth fellowship, but a treasurer will collect the fees and turn it over to the church exchequer, really. The superintendent, Sabbath school superintendent. Sabbath school superintendent is to serve the church as administrator of all divisions of the Sabbath school. He or she is not the leader of the adult division by virtue of being general superintendent. Although he or she may also be elected as leader of the adult or another division. Study and follow the counsel and guidelines, superintendent. You should study and follow the counsel and guideline found in Counsel and Sabbath School Work by Ellen G. White and the Sabbath School Handbook published by the General Conference, Sabbath School Department. The superintendent should encourage the church to make these books available to leaders and teachers in all divisions of the Sabbath School. Where is Leon? Oh. The superintendent will go through the rest of the stuff. The Sabbath school secretary. And we realized that no minutes are read again anymore. You did it here? That was good. That was good. Congratulations. Because many of the churches cut it out, and it's something that is good. Because somebody wasn't present here the week before. When they come, they will hear the minutes. Oh, they watch it online. Okay. Thank God for modern days technology. The duties of the Sabbath school secretary is to report Sabbath school progress, number 1, to distribute weekly supplies and the gathering of class records and offerings. So they would pick up the Sabbath school offering, distribute the blanks to the Sabbath school class. They still does that. To check over the class record booklets, supply omissions, record the content of the offering envelopes, and make a list of absent members. They are to order through the church lay activity or personal ministry secretary All supplies agreed upon by the Sabbath School Council. To keep the minutes of the Sabbath School Council. To keep all records provided by the Sabbath School. And register. To send a quarterly, this is important, to send a quarterly report to the Conference Sabbath School Department Director. And that report would go down quarterly. Are there any secretary here, the main secretary? Okay. The investment sponsor. Who is the investment sponsor here? Okay. If they are here, it's normally one of the elders always be the sponsor. I'm not sure how it happened. Okay. The investment sponsor gives promotional leadership to the investment plan for mission support. He or she encourages investment activity in all divisions of the Sabbath school, keeping all members informed of the progress. So there are 2 investment days for the year. The first one comes up in the month of April. So there should be promotion going on right now. Every Sabbath should take at least 3 minutes from the personal ministry's time and promote, are in the Sabbath school and promote investment. We must encourage the children to do investment. $5, $1 coin, $10 coin, they can throw them into a point battery. You don't have a saving, a piggy bank. And learn to save for investment. Farmers, remember the Lord to invest some of what you plant. So if you plant 100 planting or banana, sucker, make sure 10 of them is marked off for the Lord. And if you plant a dozen dasheen, one is for the Lord. And what the older folks used to do, Sister Clover, is invest a breadfruit tree. You know how much breadfruit over here to invest. And some invest a mango tree. So all the mangoes bear and dear. They sell it and put the money in the investment envelope. It's an old-time Adventist principles. It used to go to the conference, but now the conference say the church should share it half and half. I think it is. So the church have been sharing it for a long while now. Really? Yes. So you still give the conference something, 40%. They used to get everything from it before. The birthday offering always go to the conference, but you can serve it 50-50, exchange it. So we are asking that the investment sponsor promote investment. You can promote the batters, you can invest. What do you call the battery? The Malta battery. Yes, some people can pick them up and invest them. You can invest a cane root. And watch how the Lord bless you when you do that. Really. And so the stewardship and trust services director I think that is one of the elder. I don't remember who. If it was Elder Eric or listen, who was the steward? Elder Eric. Yes, one of them. It's always one of the elder. It's Elder Thomas. So, Elder Thomas is the stewardship director. He's a sponsor, we call director, sorry. Same thing. The stewardship director is elected by the church, is chosen for an ability to implement concepts and objective outlined by the stewardship department. So the stewardship director should help the members become effective stewards and to assist in the implementation of God's plan of benevolence, systematic benevolence throughout the church. So the stewardship director promote tithe and offering throughout the church, systematic benevolence. They help to encourage the proper use of the entire life, temper, and abilities and personal possession. Encourage stewardship of time, talents, and money. To implement the general education plan of the stewardship department as it is presented and expanded periodically to meet a continued need. So the stewardship director should let the brethren know that don't hoard all the money in the bank. Give some to the church to finish the building. And the bank, you're right, it's true. They are taking too much out of our money. And so, while you have to save for a rainy day, don't put all there and at the time of trouble come and find it there. As if your time of trouble should come and you have money in the bank, you are in serious trouble. Because Ellen White made a statement about that. That even the churches that have the money hoard in the bank and have members suffering even in your congregation. Children can't even go to school. And the day of judgment will have a given account for that money that they spend. And Ellen White make a statement, I'm going to look for it. Back. That's right. That's right. Yes. That's right. And we're coming up to the time now. We can see that and feel it. That we are coming up to the time when our money will be taken away from us. We won't, those who have it won't be able to buy or sell either. Coming up to the time. Shortly. Really. Oh, I'm looking for you. Stewardship director. Give it to Sister Lisan for Elder. Elder is it? Elder Eric. Personal ministry and Elder Eric is also the personal ministry. Is Elder Wayne? Okay. Stewardship is Elder Thomas. Sorry. Elder Thomas is the stewardship director. He's right there. The personal ministry leader is elected by the church to lead in training and directing the church in activity outreach, missionary work, service, and is chairperson of the personal ministry committee. The personal ministry committees make the plans for and implementation of missionary work. In gathering campaign, comes under the personal ministries director. Small groups ministries are formed by the personal ministries director. Members training and other means to enhance soul winning is done by this department. It is the leader's duty to present to the church in the monthly Sabbath personal ministries service and the church business meeting a report on the total outreach missionary activities of the church. So every first Sabbath during the 10-minute service, a report on the missionary activities of the church should be given. Leon? Oh, we need a song. Elder Wayne is coming. He's coming to help you.
Yes. Too much. There is too much to get to lose. Too many miles behind me. Too many trials are true. Too many tears that need to remember, and there is too much to get to lose. Too many sunset lies behind the mountain. Too many rivers my feet have walked through. Too many treasures awaiting over yonder. There is too much to get to across the hot burning desert. When I'm struggling the right road to truth. Somewhere up ahead there is cool, clear water, and it feels
Give them a bigger amen. Good singing, there's too much to gain, to lose. Let us hold fast to what we have and don't lose it. The Health Ministries Director, the Health Ministries Leader, duties include the following. Number one, to outline, plan, and budget in consultation with the pastor, the Ministries Council, and the church board programs for the year that will emphasize total health and temperance for the church and community. And so, the Ministries Director will sit in council with consultation of the pastors, the pastor and the council, and will make plans for the year to promote temperance and total health, to promote an ongoing witness in the community concerning the destructive effects of tobacco, alcohol, and other health-destroying drugs and substances. So you have drug seminars. Go out to the square, to the shop with some placards and tell of the danger of smoking cigarettes and cigars and cocaine and cracks and everything. In collaboration with the AY Society, you plan a program and go there and witness about these things. To foster good relationship with community health and temperance organization. So you will get to know the health people in your community, the people at the clinic and all, and so forth, and get into a relationship with them so they can be your resource at any meeting you're having or whatever. To encourage the study of the biblical principles in the spirit of prophecy, counsels, and health and temperance. It's a very good book to get. Counsel and Food and Diet by Ellen White. Ellen White, and Health and Temperance by Ellen White. To arrange for and promote the holding of health and temperance education programs for the church and the community it serves, in close cooperation with the Conference Health Ministries Director, to serve as Secretary of the Health Ministries Council, except when asked to serve as the chairperson, to develop in collaboration with the Health Ministries Council a program and in consultation with the Personal Ministries Council, a schedule of health ministries activities that will include such programs as stop smoking plans, cooking schools, health classes, stress control programs, and other related endeavors. Okay. These are some of the duties of the health ministries department. We have to go a little fast. This is very short. Health is Community Services Director. Oh, she's not here. We won't read it, and who can pass it on to her? I'll give it to Elder. Yeah. AY leader is here. Huh? Of course. She's next to me. Okay. The youth leader, as a follower of Christ, must exemplify the graces of a genuine Christian with a burden for soul winning and a contagious enthusiasm in helping motivate the youth to work together and take responsibilities. The leader will be in the background, guiding, counseling, and encouraging the youth, helping them to gain experience and joy, the joys of achievement. It will be necessary to study the youth profile of the church and seek to involve every youth in the society. And you have a very good youth society here. So that tells us that the leader is motivating and pushing them to go forward. The youth leader will keep in close touch with the pastors and sponsor, that's the AY sponsor, and with the conference youth director, with Pastor Jermaine, is what, Bailey? Bailey at the conference. Taking advantage of every opportunity for in serving, training, and leading this society into a cooperative relationship with the church and the conference. The leader is to lead the youth to understand their individual worth and to discover and develop their spiritual gifts and abilities. Yeah, she is to lead out in collaboration with the society in equipping and empowering them for a life of service with God's church and the community. He or she is also to ensure the integration of youth into all aspects of church life and leadership in order that they might be full participants in the mission of the church. So the youth department must help motivate them to do missionary work too. The Adventurer Club leader, you have Adventurer Club? Oh. The Pathfinder, you don't have that? Not yet, not yet. Yeah, you're having quite a bit of children, but you need some more of the age group of 9. Is it 6 to 9 for adventure? Yeah. Yeah. Family ministries leader. Elder Eric too. And since Elder is not here, give it to Sister Lisa.
Man ministry leader.
Women's ministries director. Sister Lisa, okay. So the women's ministries leader is to develop ministries to nurture women and equip them for service to God and the church. She serves as a chair of the Women's Ministries Committee and encourages ideas and plans which maximize women's contributions to the mission of the church. She is responsible for putting the agenda together, moderating discussion, and developing group cohesion through personal sharing, prayer, and fellowship. The women's ministry leader fosters spiritual growth and renewal among women in collaboration with the Women's Ministries Committee. Sorry. The women's ministry leader affirmed that the women are of inestimable value or worth by virtue of their creation and redemption, equip them for service in the church, and offer women's perspective on the church issues. Oh, Leanne says she will read the rest. Children's Ministries Director. Here? So give it to Elder to give. He's the burden bearer this evening. Education Director. See here? Oh, Elder is there. Oh, it's vacant. Oh, we never fill it yet. We never fill it yet, you're right. At the next board meeting, we will fill it. I know. Sometime they will ask him to go different places. Yeah, they did say that. They did say that. Really. The publishing sponsor, do we have one here? Sister Abigail. The publishing sponsor, and this is the duties of the publishing sponsor. Serving of the Publishing Ministries Council and be responsible for implementing the Publishing Ministries Council's decision, identifying church members to serve as literature evangelists. And that is one of the main jobs, to recruit and get members of the church who are unemployed to train as colporteurs, literature evangelists, really. And so, thank you. And so, is to organize literature evangelism awareness seminars in the church and to conduct training seminars for members who have indicated an interest in becoming a literature evangelist. So nobody should be unemployed in the church. The Lord have prepared work for every member of the church through the literature evangelist ministry. And you need to know that the colporteur depends on how long they work. Just like any conference worker, they get their pension just the same way. At the ending of service, they get their pension. And there are other benefits too that they will get. So if you're not working, do you know evil to go and get some books? Start from the small ones, sell them, and save your money. And who to tell? The leading colporteur in West Indies Union then, before it became Jamaica Union, was from the parish of St. Elizabeth. And she led out the lead for 3 years and straight, across from here to Bahamas, to Caymans, to Turks and Caicos. And that lady, the Indian lady from Middlesex called Sister Sings, Amy Sings. She used to be the accountant at Appleton Estates. And she resigned that job and do colporteury. And for 3 years and straight, she sold over $3 million worth of book right here in St. Elizabeth. Sometimes she canvassed a whole Church of God church. And they order the books. And you don't know, Ellen White says, I work next to none. You're blessed sometimes, people give you some gift. One time a colporteur went back. A friend of mine who's a colporteur went back to collect money from a lady that ordered books. And because he was walking his feet in the sun, when he reached the gate, he saw a brand new BMW parked there. But could never dream that they bought it for him. Rich people. And that colporteur, when he was ready to go, collected his money. The gentleman handed him, he said, here is your key, and the car is out there, almost have a heart attack. So the Lord, he could drive. The Lord bless the colporteur work, ministry. Sometimes it's hard, of course. And nothing that you're doing that normally could challenge you sometimes. Really. So if you are unemployed, do it. Spirit of Prophecy Director, who was that one? Elder Eric, I think. Yeah. I think it's Elder Eric. No. The Spirit of Prophecy Director is responsible for the promotion of the Spirit of Prophecy writings, all our books. More specifically, the writings of Sister Ellen G. White. He or she is to be abreast of their teachings. You must know the Spirit of Prophecy teachings. And when you go online, in the Rosal Church online, sometimes you find some very fascinating, important quotations coming from the pen of inspiration that is put out there by Elder Eric Robinson. I enjoy reading them sometimes, really. And so, he or she is to be abreast of the teachings and be a believer in the inspiration and relevance of those writings to the remnant church. So you must, as the Spirit of Prophecy Director, you plan for the Spirit of Prophecy Day, and they're coming up on the calendar of events. Invite a speaker, you speak yourself. And let the brethren know you cannot be a Seventh-day Adventist and don't believe in the Spirit of Prophecy. If you don't believe in the Spirit of Prophecy, you are not a Seventh-day Adventist. You are a Sadventist and a Badventist. He or she must be one who has a good concept of the context in which the statements were made by Ellen White. That means some of the statements are contextual. Ellen White told women in one of the era they don't ride bicycle. And that was contextual. She said don't join or do any life insurance. That was contextual. Because the time when she warned against you joining the members going into life insurance was a time in the United States of America when husband was killing wife to get the insurance and wife killing husband to get their insurance. Really. And so, give it to sister. The bicycle was for a certain reason. I'll touch on that when I come to your Spirit of Prophecy seminar. I will go a little deeper into the bicycle. But the woman can ride bicycle. It's a good exercise. But there was a reason why she said that at that time. I'll tell you when I get. The church auditors. So we have two auditors here, Brother Clinton over here and Sister Alicia. The local is just a short thing. The local church auditors are to review and audit the book of the treasurer and the church clerk periodically. Once per quarter is recommended. So the church auditor must, if you're an auditor, audit the book of the exchequer once per quarter. And when you check on the treasurer, they say they never come. So we hope that our auditors here, Brother Clinton and Sister Alisa, Sister Whiteley, okay, will audit the exchequer's book. And so, and as such, all irregularities should be pointed out. And so give it to, I think there are more than one. You give them already? So keep that in. Okay. Okay. The public affairs and religious liberty person. We call it the PARL. P-A-R-L. That most people ask, what is this about? Is the religious liberty person. I think it's Brother Eric. Oh, it's you? Okay, it's Brother Elder Wayne, that's right. The Public Affairs and Religious Liberty PARL Department promotes and maintains religious liberty with particular emphasis upon liberty of conscience. Nobody should be forced against their conscience. Although very soon in the future, Ellen White said, that America is going to join with Rome and under the threefold union of the three unclean spirits, like frogs in Revelation 13, they are going to force people against their conscience to worship on Sunday, the vulnerable day of the sun. But until then, there is religious freedom and liberty. So the religious liberty leader is responsible for any such incident or as a student doing their CXC exam. That's some money. But they are saying they set the exam on Sabbath. It is a religious liberty leader's job to call the conference, religious liberty leader, and make a complaint. And the conference religious liberty leader will call the union religious liberty leader. And the union religious liberty leader will go to the CXC council board and speak on behalf of that student. That's what the religious liberty is all about. Or if it's a job and you're forced. Yes. Yeah. Okay. They were discussing it here. You don't pass it, but you. Yeah, they make more money. Yeah. Yes. That's right. But the religious liberty leader can take it up, but it's not you, local church. You report it if you have a member to the conference and they to the union. The union is the one that's going to talk to them about that. Yes. Mm-hmm. We don't have to force anybody about that. Yeah. We can't, I don't think we should declare it either. All we should do is teach it and leave them up to accept it or reject it. No. You leave them, you tell them the truth, and you leave them to accept or reject. They would stop that. Mhm. Mhm. And the Sabbath is sacred. Yeah, that's right. I know. Mercy. Yes. And not only them, but Adventists gamble too. We shouldn't. We shouldn't. Because right now we have a case pending right in this district where last week the gentleman went almost in the elder's house, so close to the first elder house, gambling, and every game that he played won every one of them. So he, so he caused a jealousy there, really, that the biggest thing in rivalry in the district now of that particular church is that the Adventist gambler winning every game. Yes. Seventh-day Adventist. Yeah, the case only came to me this morning. so, so we're having the problem here too. It shouldn't be. It is wrong, double wrong. But that is to tell you we allow the devil to use us like a yo-yo. You ever know the yo-yo game? Playing yo-yo? So the devil used some of us. Bible school coordinator. Did we give anybody that position? I can't. Okay. She's here? Oh, she's at the back there. Yeah. The Bible school coordinator is elected because some people don't know what it's all about. You know, no. The Bible school coordinator is elected to organize the church's Bible school outreach ministry to the local community. He or she is to work in close cooperation with the pastor, the church interest coordinator, we need to talk about that one too, and the personal ministries leader. All three work together. Duties of the coordinator include, and these are some of your duties: recruiting volunteers, providing training on how to give Bible studies, and make visits, ordering Bible correspondence lessons like the 7 steps or the show guide, and other supplies, and establishing a plan for enrolling students and promoting the school. So the voice of prophecy. Long time I don't hear anybody doing that course. Is that, I think they say it's still on. Huh? You couldn't get through. I must check it out. Okay. So I'm going to check you out. I think they say it's still here. Is at the union. The office is at the union. Really. So I will check it out. And so these are some of the duties of the Bible coordinator. She's way over. The AY Adventist Youth sponsor. I don't remember who was the sponsor. Sister Sharon is the sponsor. This may be an elder or other qualified person of the church board, but the sponsor should be a member of the church board who understands thoroughly the objectives of the youth society and who is sympathetic with the youth and their involvement in church's ministry. This individual serves as a guide or a counselor to the Adventist Youth Society. So the sponsor is the youth counselor that will counsel the leader and some of the officers and whoever among the youth who need counseling. If she can't manage it, she refer it to other counselor, really. Some of the cases you have to make referral, really. The youth society officers, no, let me read this. This individual serves as a guide or a counselor to the Adventist Youth Society officers and meets with them regularly. Sister Robinson, you must meet with them regularly at the time of the Adventist Youth Society committee meeting. You must always meet with the AY at their committee meeting there. That don't mean you have to go to the meeting every time. The sponsor will be one who whom the young people love and look to for counsel, working with the youth leader in bringing the needs of the society before the church board at all times. The sponsor should become acquainted with the youth director of the local conference, keeping him or her informed of any changes in officer, personnel, and other sponsors. Related matter to the AY Society. Along with the society officers, the sponsor should attend the youth training institutes of the local conference to keep pace with what is developing in youth ministries and thus be more effective in giving counsel. It would be well if the sponsor could serve over a several-year period for continuity. So you don't put the sponsor this year and move her next year. They are recommending that she serve or he over a 7 years period, a longer period, really as the AY sponsor. Yeah. Because AY sponsor is the one that counsels the youth. And the AY sponsor, when, for instance, the youths want to go on a trip and they're short of money, the AY sponsor take it to the board and plead for them at the board to get some money. Thank you, Sister Robinson. We are coming down, only 2 to go. That's very good. So we have done well so far. Communication director, and he's right over here, I think. Oh, it's you? Okay. The communication director is responsible for the gathering and dissemination of news in the form of flyers, news broadcasts, or letters where appropriate. As opportunity presents, the secretary will place on the ear persons of interest in interview type programs and arrange for news features on such persons. Every effort will be made to maintain a friendly, cooperative relationship with editors and other communication and media personnel. The communication director will cooperate with the conference communication director, Pastor Myrie, in carrying out the plans of the conference and reporting as required or as requested, and will also present periodic reports to the church business meeting. He or she will also stay in touch with the conference webmaster in giving update for the church's page on the conference website, as well as the local media houses with regards to special events, emphasis, or movements of the church. The communication director will assist in organizing support for the denomination media programs. This may include the placement of announcement and advertisement for broadcast and Bible correspondence school courses, the promotion of the media ministry offerings, and participation in events for distribution of radio, television, and Bible correspondence school materials. Other communication activity include planning for special church events and ceremonies, the preparation of church exhibits and parade floats, placement of church advertising, and providing local public libraries and other information centers with information on the Seventh-day Adventist Church and its work. And we used to have what we call the Tell West. It's down for a long while. We don't have it. I think I heard them say they're going to resurrect it back. That's right. So the Tell West would collect all the news, anything you do of, like the harvest that's gone in December. Anything you do here of consequence, the communication director would take a picture, send it to the conference, or to the visitors at the union. Union have a paper known as a visitor. You would send it there and make them know what you're doing in Rosal, really. And so, like coming up to convention, the communication director would make a banner for his church, whether with cloth or with charts, cardboard, and you would march at the convention, parading, showing your church, and say some of the activities that your church are doing, and so forth. Where is Leon now? He's gone outside. Pass this here for Mrs. Clover, your nephew. The music coordinator. Who is that? Okay. And I'm just going to read some of these. As an expression of worship, great care should be taken to provide music which will glorify God. Singers should be as carefully selected as are the workers for other parts of the Sabbath service, and should be measured by the same standards. That means all those who want to sing, you should make sure, the music director, that they are in good and regular standing, and they are living Adventist lifestyle, really, before you allow them to sing. You don't use them to sing because they have a good voice. Along with the good voice, they must live in accordance with the will of God, really. The director is to see that selected songs, listen to this one, selected songs coordinate with the theme of the day for all musical renditions on a given Sabbath. So the theme for the Sabbath, the music that you select should match the theme as near as possible. Number two, to select songs for song service. So all the songs for song service should be selected by the music director or coordinator, really. And they are saying that great care should be taken with the songs that we choose and the message that the song convey. We somewhere around the throne of God. I keep searching. And nobody going to heaven to keep searching. And if the person is around the throne of God, you shouldn't cry. Yeah, because the person is at a good place. Good place. And so you select the songs fitting with the of the day and the nurture of the program, and turn over same to song service directors for both morning and afternoon services in consultation with the choir leader, church organist, and pastor and or elder. You are to work closely with the choir director in the choice of song to prepare for each performance on a given Sabbath. So even the songs that the choir are going to sing, you have to evaluate them to make sure that they are in accordance with the Adventist doctrines. Because sometimes we move away from what we preach. Yes, that's right. And in those, most of the churches, in Montego Bay Church and Church Street, most of these big established churches, is something they have been practicing for years. You have to tell them before you can sing. Even at the crusade, they would quiz you to make sure the song you go and sing at the crusade. I hear songs singing at the crusade. Want make you plant your pole in a me yard. Now come here to bring botheration. Come here to bring tribulation. Want make you plant your pole in a me yard. And that is a revival song. It's a poco that plant the pole and the bamboo stick, the flag, not Adventist. And there's another one I heard them singing. I heard it at Pastor Samuel's crusade in Westmoreland. 10 o'clock, me go up on Mount Zion. Whoa, ye, whoa, ye, whoa. Whoa, ye, whoa. That's not Adventist song at all. Oh. So you're to close, I think that's the one I've gone through. To encourage appropriate attire. Listen to this one. What a trouble they put you in. And we don't want them to lick you down for that one. To encourage appropriate attire. That's the way they dress. And deportment of the singers, so the singers shouldn't go up there looking untidy. And you may go and talk to them and they lick you down, so be careful. Elder Wayne, an elder right in this parish, saw one of our good singers in the parish too. The lady, she was coming up to sing the song of meditation. And so to get up to the platform, you have a step 1, 2, 3. So the dress was so short that she tried to go up. But all what she would do is a sort of silk dress. So the more she move up, and the more you ride up. Really. And so the members in the congregation were seeing what they were not supposed to see. And so the elder saw what he never supposed to see, Brother Clint. So after the service, the elder called her into the vestry and corrected her and asked if she never peppered the elder. And she peppered the elder, and she wasn't going to take it like that. She have to bring the elder to the pastor, for the pastor to discipline. And guess who was the pastor? Me. Well, I do what King Solomon did when the woman carried the child for him to cut into. You remember the story? Yes. So what I do is, I went back to the person's house where they called me to make the complaint. And I said, well, I wasn't there, so go and put on the same dress and come up your step, because she have almost the same kind of 3 steps. And when she do it, it was the same thing. I said, you can't kill the elder. You have to be careful too of the material you buy to make dress. And if you wear your dress at the appropriate place, you want to ride up way up there. It was too short already. So every step, that's right, it start to ride up, really. So you have a big job, very big job. But Elder Wayne will help you. Yeah, that's so more of as a pastor elder job. Okay. But maybe they will listen to you more than us, as a younger person. And so, not only that they are to proper attire at the choir, when they are singing in groups, solo, or song service leaders. When they minister to the congregation, they must dress modestly. And modesty don't mean that you go on simple and lower than what is. Ellen White said that the dress and conversation tells which direction we are heading. Ellen White said that the dress and conversation tells which direction we are heading. Yes, when we come to do the Bible class on that, we are going around, where did we reach? Where Leonis? I think the last church we went, where did we have it last? Bellevue. We have done it at Carlisle, Bellevue, and we're supposed to come here. Yes. And I was called, all right, maybe the wrong people were there that evening. And then we are supposed to be going through the whole district with it, because it comes under the topic in The doctrinal topic, Christian behavior, how we should dress, how we should eat, what we should drink, how we should deport ourselves on the street. Whatever we do, we should do all to the glory of God. Amen. And so to work closely with the pastor, church organist, and church board in developing plans and strategies for the development and advancement of the church's musicians. And so there is a follow-up reading there you have to read from the church manual, page 78 and 79. And from Testimonies for the Church, volume 4, page 71, and Testimonies, volume 9, page 140 and 4. Yes, we have come to the end. Huh? We did give you that. They link the both of them with stewardship and trust. Look at it. The trust services, oh, I should have said something on the trust services. And I never said. The trust services department is in charge of making your will. And you must make will. No Adventist should die and leave their family fighting one another and even killing one another. That's right. And so if you make the will, sister, listen, this year, at the ending of the year, you can tear it up. If you don't, then I make a new one. Every year you can make a new will. But it's good to make will. And sometimes it causes serious trouble. If you know nothing, you can't make anything. And so, people to make will are people with houses, land, and money. Okay. And yeah, and we don't want to see Adventist family fighting over land. So Ellen White encouraged that all Adventists make a will, and that is those who have something to make a will. And everybody here. And she said that when you are making your will, make sure you leave something for the church. If you make a will and don't leave anything for the church, go and change it or add to it. Your will is not complete, she said, until you leave something for the church. And I was called to make a will the other day, not long ago. And after this sister shared and she shared and she shared, not a thing for the Lord. So I said, did you know that the spirit of prophecy says that you need to leave something for the church? She said, Pastor, I never know. She never know, as everybody knows that. I read it. And you know, now that she knew, she left $500,000 in offering for the church. So when you make your will, if you don't have the money, huh? Yeah, you don't leave nothing. Only those who have something. Well, share up the land for the family, but give some of the money to the church from Elder Wayne. Yes, sir, because since this week, I think that argument come up somewhere I work. We leaving something for the church. And the person was asking, how you would leave like money. Because if you're going to leave money for the church, you have to be specific. You have to tell what it's for, yeah. So if you're going to leave it for the church, you might have to leave it for something specific. You have to say whether for the poor and needy, Evangelism. Mhm. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Well, if you can leave it for the local church, you know. It can go to the specific church once they say that this is what we want it for the church, then the union can do anything about it. It comes to Rosal. Because you state that you want it to go towards Rosal Church. If you just give it like that, elder say for the church, then the church won't get it just like that. Yes, conference love to share it too. Because you never state, yeah, clearly what it was for. All the church property. Yeah. Oh, there's an alien. It's a long time. Well, if they use it up, that they use it up. There's nothing you can do. once, once you give it to the church. Yes. Okay, Leon. Yes. Union can't take it. There's peace round there that somebody gave to the Carlisle church there. That is for Carlisle. The union can't touch it nor the conference. They're in charge of here now. The church and this property here. Huh? But if they give it for the Carlisle church, the union can't take it. It's the Carlisle church. That's right. And use the money. Yes, they can sell it. Yeah. Mhm. You- yes. Yeah. Yeah, you could just give it. Yeah. That would be easier. Yeah. That's right. Yeah, give it to the church. That's before you die. Yeah. Yes. That's right. Yeah. It's better you give it. in his will that this portion of property supposed to go to her. But it is after the death of his wife. The wife was living in your 100 now. And she would have need of it, but she can't get it until the death. So what if she died first? We have to be careful of how we make our wills. We have to be careful, yeah, that's true. We have to be careful. You understand? So when you do it like that now, what if I die early? Would it then, unless it is going to go down to your generation. And then I won't forget it because I never left the generation. No. It left to you personally. That's right. So you wouldn't have to make a will saying when you die, it go to your generation. Right. You have to state so. I'm just saying this for clarity. Yes. That's how we go about if we are going to leave the will, whether for somebody or for the church. Be careful. It have to be stated clearly. Yeah. So that it can because there are a lot of church, and I said, funny, I think we're talking about one in Westmoreland, where the father would have given them permission to use the land, and the father would have set up a little church, and the church is there, but it was left, he died, he was dying, and he left a will, leaving this property to his children. Yeah. Now the children said there is no exemption in that will, and they have been there for years. There is no exemption in that will to say that this piece of land should be left out at the church. So they have to do it now. We're moving from that property and go find one church after many years. Mercy. For that purpose. This is what I'm saying. We must state clearly what it is for. Yeah. You can't just want if you will. Then when your children then come down and flag about who would lie. Even when they don't get the property, I know of one in England. And the lady died suddenly, accidental death. And she left, and when the solicitor finished draw all the way draw, nothing left. The solicitor get far more half of the property with the government, along with the government. Mercy. And the children left with the family. We have to be mindful of, yes, good to make a will, but if it's not made properly, that's right. Your beneficiary might not be anything. That is true. It should be made properly. And lots of will cause confusion after because they're not done properly. That's right. I prefer that. Yeah. Trouble. And a lot of killing nowadays too. Over will. Yes. Yes, a whole lot, really. No, since there are no more questions. Oh, Sister listen. The will? As long as the what do you call him now? Testator? So the will, as we say, you can tear it up at the end of each year, make a new one. Or even earlier. Or you can make it stay forever. Whichever. There are no specific time. You was talking about the interest coordinator. Now as you think of it, I don't hear it right here. Never hear it. I never hear the interest coordinator really. So I don't know